streaming now. Download our app on your smart TV, Roku, Apple TV, and more.
I first learned about True Freedom Ministries when I was a warden working in the Ohio Department of Rehabilitation and Corrections many, many years ago.
And talk a little bit about your role, your involvement with the ministry.
Yeah, right now I am the Director of Operations for Prospera Reentry, which is a section of True Freedom Ministries, and we are a workforce development, workforce readiness program. We currently take men and women, men out of prison, out of Grafton Correctional Institution, and take them out into society where they're working living wage positions during their incarceration. They can do this up to 3 years prior to their release, and we provide all of the transportation for them.
That's awesome. Yeah, look at me, because we were talking to the camera, right? That's good. So, how do you describe the vision, the mission, the heartbeat of True Freedom Ministry?
The heartbeat of the ministry is, and of Prospera, is bringing the word of the gospel to individuals that are incarcerated and those that have been released from institutions. We work with them as well.
Good. Talk about how people are getting saved, how they're hearing about the gospel.
That's done in many ways by the ministry. We have pastors that go into institutions throughout the state of Ohio, as well as we have a homeless mission as well, an addiction and recovery mission also within the ministry. We also do large events such as softball games, basketball games within the institutions, and that brings in more people from the outside to share.
That's awesome. What was it like being a warden and seeing programs like this come and go? What did that do for, say, as a warden?
I always, as a warden, you cannot manage your institutions without volunteers such as those that come in with True Freedom Ministry. They provide so much to the men and women during their incarcerations, whether it's programming or whether it's just someone to talk to for a period of time, to share the challenges that they may be facing at that point in time, and to get feedback from someone that is totally neutral. The programs that volunteers and True Freedom have always brought into prisons have been very positive and been very well accepted. Mike mentioned earlier this morning that during the pandemic and any event that we do, we take care of everyone that's in the institution. During the pandemic, I was still working for the Department of Corrections at the time, and they were able to bring in various different items and share various different items to recognize staff. Of course, all this took place outside of the institution when the men and women were coming to and from work, but they were there to provide support to them.
Talk a little bit more about the program that you oversee.
Sure. One of the things that we want to do, and is proven, that if someone is employed upon release, their chance of coming back to prison is much less. So with their ability to work while they are incarcerated, if they are able to take part in the work release program, all of their wages, a majority of their wages, are placed in their going home fund, as we like to call it. And that gives them that head start. They don't have to worry about finding that job right away. They have the job that they can start as soon as they're released. Part of the agreement with the employers is that each one of the men or women that are taking part in the program, if they are in good standing during their employment during incarceration, they will be offered a job upon release. We have men and women being released from the institutions with upwards to $30,000, possibly even $40,000 in their going home fund. that is obviously enough for them to purchase a good used car to make it to and from work, so they can start that employment as soon as needed after release. They can have that first month's rent and down payment on an apartment and have a place to live. Or if they're going home, it gives them the opportunity, as one of the men has shared with me, to focus on his family and not have to worry about searching for the job or searching for the funds to purchase a used car so he can start a job. He's got that job.
That's good. So we talk about ways people can get involved and support this ministry. How can people do that?
We are always seeking employers that will accept the men and women that are incarcerated into their business, whether it's manufacturing, a food service industry, restaurants. We currently are taking a number of men to Lorain County, the actual county administration building, where they are working in their maintenance department, their dog kennel, as well as their recycling and collection agency. And that's one of the things that I'm tasked with doing, is finding those employers that are willing to take part in our program.
Talk about financial support. How important is it to support ministry financially?
We take no state or federal funding. Everything is private support, private foundations, private donations, and that's extremely difficult or challenging, because we have, I didn't like that. No government funding at all. We provide the transportation, so we have several vehicles that we put a lot of miles on. They need tires, they need oil changes, they need brakes. And as well as all of our drivers, we compensate our drivers. They are not volunteers to us, so we have to pay our drivers as well. We do have some revenue coming in from the companies that are taking part, because we do charge them, but that's not even at a break-even point for us.
That's good. Yeah. Nothing's free in life. Prayer support. How important is it for people to be praying for you guys?
That's always extremely helpful to us, for the safety of the men and women that are driving the men and women to and from work, and to the men and women that are going out to work. Prayers are always very helpful to them, because it's a different environment for them than what's in the institution. They're going through challenges of adapting to something new, and once they're adapted, we need those prayers so they don't get too comfortable in that situation. So they continue to do the right things, and then when they're released, they continue to do the right things as well. We will accept volunteers from any background, and we look for their strong suits and how they may be able to assist us in our mission.
Why do you do what you do? What gets you up in the morning?
I'll say my father was a college professor, and I apologize, I get a little choked up talking about him, but he touched lives. He touched lives. And in my 37-year career with the Department of Corrections, I know I touched lives in a different way than my father did as an educator. And that's what motivates me and gets me up in the morning, is because I know I'm still impacting people. Fewer than when I was working within the Department of Corrections, but I'm still impacting people. And that's been my life mission. If I can impact half the people that my father did, I would consider my life a success.
Final question, is there anything else the Lord put on your heart to share with us today?
Thank you for coming and doing this for us and with us. To spread this word and to spread what our organization is all about is very important.
Overcomers TV, streaming now. Download our app on your smart TV, Roku, Apple TV, and more.